Hi everybody. So today I want to share with you guys the story of my spiritual awakening and tell you how my guides woke me up. So, a lot of people are waking up right now, and this is going to become like totally normal for everyone. So I just want to share with you guys my story to normalize the spiritual awakening is really happening to a lot of us, and that everything you're going through is normal. Like, you're not crazy, and everything you're learning is true. So just to tell you some info about me, my background. My name is Beatrice, and I was born in El Salvador in 1977. And so I was raised Catholic. And here's a picture of me as a baby. So my family and we moved to the United States when in the year 1984. So I was almost turning 9 at the time. And my whole life I've been an artist since I was very young. I started to draw, and so that was my skill. So in high school, I was on track to, moving on to like a fine art school so that I could get a degree, in fine art or painting, because I was going to a art high school at the time. But in the 10th grade, I got this feeling inside me that said, no, you need to help people. So I had this feeling like art just for the sake of making art and selling artwork is not, my calling, that it was not enough for me, that I needed to help people. So after that, I was guided to learn about art therapy. And so I ended up getting a degree in mental health and art therapy. And, in the year 2011, I was married. I was working already as a therapist, and I had just had a miscarriage. And I was very sad. So at the time I wanted to feel better. So I started to make art, just for healing. And because, art making is very healing. So I would go to this little town next to where I used to live, and I would go see these 2 little donkeys. So I would draw them and I would spend time with them. And, I wanted to make these donkeys into a painting. Like, I wanted to incorporate them into a painting. And so at that time, I was very interested in an artist from Spain named Jose Manuel Morello. And so he's still alive, so you can check out his paintings. They're amazing paintings. But anyway, his style is expressionism, and he mixes a lot of different styles. So I just wanted to, experiment with that, and so he was my inspiration to make this painting. So in 2011, I was alone one day. I can't remember the day or the month, but I was alone one day. So I decided to make a painting and use the donkeys that I had been drawing. So I stretched this canvas, and this is a size like 3 feet by 3 feet. So it's pretty large, compared to all the other things that I would paint. And so what I did was I just started to put paint on the canvas. I would like squeeze paint out of the tube, or I would mix, the paint on the canvas. And I was just trying to make shapes and use color however I wanted to, without really planning anything. So the only thing I knew was that I wanted to incorporate the 2 little donkeys. So that's why I added them to this painting. And so time went by. I don't really know how many hours later I was done, and I was having so much fun, like in the flow, because I was just in the flow of creating this painting, and just using my intuition. So it was like a intuitive way of painting, and so it was really fun. And when I was done, I was so happy with the result. So I hung up my painting, and I was very happy with it. So fast forward to 2019. So in 2019, I was already, separated from my ex-husband, and I had met, but my twin flame. In 2019, I met him, and he activated my awakening. And after I met him, the first thing I noticed, one of the things I noticed was in my painting, there was this figure, like up in the clouds right here. And this figure, it's a black man coming out of the clouds. And when I saw him, I said, oh my God, that is Benjamin. That's my friend Benjamin. And Benjamin is one of like the most sweetest, kindest person that I know. And I met him actually in 2017. And he, to me, he has such a healing quality about him. He's like an angel, like an angelic, really. So, well, later I found out he actually is an earth angel. But anyways, I was so shocked to see Benjamin in my painting. And I was just like, wow, how can that be? Like, I painted something that was going to happen in the future, So it kind of became like a prophecy or oracle. So anyway, so after I met my twin, a lot of these angelic beings, they started coming to talk to me. So the first one that came to talk to me was my guardian angel, and his name is Dumiel. And then after Dumiel, Archangel Metatron came, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. So I met a lot of the angelics. And my deceased relatives came to talk to me to help with my awakening. And also like ascended masters such as Jeshua came, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Saint Germain. So I met a lot of these beings. And my ET collectives came. So the Lyrians came, Sirius, Pleiadians. And I learned so much about who I am, like my soul, the soul evolution, and also like what's happening in this planet, like what is going on behind the scenes of this planet. And what's funny is because since I was raised Catholic, I was always questioning everything that I was being taught as a Catholic. And so I distanced myself from being Catholic in high school. And I was always seeking truth. I was always like reading and trying to figure out what was the truth, about what's going on in the world. And so I am just so happy that now I know the truth, which is something that I've always wanted to know. So in this painting, like everything that they would tell me, or they would guide me to read or watch, or like any info that I would get from dreams or like a past life regression, it would come out in this painting. So they would say, okay, look at the painting. And that's how I would know that what I was learning and what they were telling me is true, because everything's in this painting. And that's how I know that I am not crazy and that everything is true. So I'm going to break down, like some information that my painting has that they revealed to me. It's not everything that I know, because I've been awake for 3 years, so I know a lot of information, and one thing leads to another. So it's like baby steps, and they give you information little by little. Just it's fascinating. It's wonderful. I love being awake. It's like the best thing that ever happened to me, so now I'm gonna break down some of this info, okay? All right. Oh, I just want to say also, something that I want to say is like, since my awakening, I feel so different. Like I feel like I'm a new person, that I have a new set of eyes, a new brain. Like everything has changed, within me, because I literally could not see any of this stuff before 2019. So all that I would see was shapes and colors and the two donkeys. And it's just so amazing that now I have a new set of eyes and now I can see everything because I'm awake. All right. All right. So the first thing that they showed me was info about the pyramids in Mexico, and also, you know, how it correlates to the pyramids in Egypt. So the pyramids in Mexico, they had me watch a documentary where they're discovering tunnels. So the tunnels are in this painting, and you see exactly what they showed, you know, like in the documentary is in here. And what they show is that in the bottom right here, it's a liquid of mercury that they have found in the very bottom of a pyramid in Mexico. So this mercury, it has to do with, you know, the ETs, the extraterrestrials, and how they use it for their spaceships. And you know, like those dots that are inside the one of those pyramids in the painting, that is supposed to be a constellation. So that is supposed to be Orion. Okay. So that was the very first thing they showed me, and I was like, whoa, okay. Okay, so here's another part of the painting that they showed me, and this information was given by Saint Germain. So when Saint Germain came, he looked a lot like Merlin. He had a sword, and what he revealed was about Mount Shasta. So Mount Shasta is a, you know, a place located in California, and this is where the Lemurians moved to when their civilization was destroyed. And so I've had past lives in Lemuria, and you know, in the future I'm gonna draw my past lives so you guys can see what it was like, what I look like. But this is supposed to be a Mount Shasta, and the Lemurians live inside Mount Shasta. And I had the chance to visit Mount Shasta recently, last year, and it's a amazing place, very high vibrational. And so I was, you know, able to connect with them there also. And so yeah, before you know, this information, I had no idea. I didn't even care about Mount Shasta. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't really know anything about it. So that's it for Mount Shasta. Okay, so here is another place that they showed me. So on the left side, that shape that looks, you know, that orange shape, that is supposed to be Easter Island. So Easter Island is located off of the coast of Peru. It's known for some I don't know what they're called, but they have these big heads there. And anyway, so what they revealed is that Easter Island, it was part of Lemuria. So they wanted me to know that. And also the shape beside Easter Island, that is a little tiny place in New Zealand. So New Zealand is part of Lemuria as well. And that's just like what's left of Lemuria. Okay, so when they were showing me info about, you know, like the galactic history or extraterrestrials and what happened to my collective, like when I lived there, like the very first info I got was that I was from Lyra. So the Lyrans, they were destroyed. Their place was destroyed, their planet was destroyed by the, you know, dark forces, which are the Reptilians, Draconians. And this figure right here that is green shape with, you know, like the little purple head and then the tail at the back, that is supposed to be Anakin Skywalker. So they told me, watch Star Wars episode 4. Then they told me watch Star Wars episode 2. So when I was watching Star Wars episode 2, that's when Anakin is young and he looks just like this, you know, his head with his little tail coming out of his head, and his robe is not green, but you know, I'm gonna tell you what that green robe means in a second. But anyway, so I have never really been into sci-fi movies or Star Wars, and I just thought it was so dumb. I don't know why, I just was never interested. But so that's why it's so interesting that you know, they told me to watch it, and that's how I learned, you know, what happened to my planet in Lyra. So the green, that actually represents this the Emerald Order. So the Emerald Order was a group that was during the time of Atlantis, was a powerful type of benevolent, you know, group, and I was part of that order, the Emerald Order. Okay, next I want to show you guys the star that's up here. So this right here is a constellation. So that is supposed to represent Lyra and Vega, you know, the star. And then underneath like that dark area right there, those are the 3 races of extraterrestrials that we're basically fighting against, I guess you could say. But you know, like the green shape, that is a reptilian. And I have seen reptilians with my third eye, so I know exactly what they look like, and they look just like that. They have something coming out of the top of their head. Okay, so those are the reptilians. Then next to that green shape, it's kind of hard to see, but that's an Anunnaki, and I've seen them too. They have beards. They're actually pretty good looking, but yeah, they're part of the you know, the dark forces. And then next to the Anunnaki is Orion. So the Orions have you know, some of them have big heads, and they look like humans, basically. They're humanoids. Okay, so this is when they showed me the races. Now, there's a lot of ET races. It's not just those 3, but they group those together because those are the ones that are, you know, trying to control the planet, trying to control us. All right, so right here, this shape that you see, that is like kind of like oh, I guess it's a I don't really know what it is. It's an octagon, but it's on the side. You know, it's like yellow background and then the blue lines. So that is supposed to represent a crop circle. And they showed me how crop circles are made. So they are made with something called centrifugal force. They gave me that word, centrifugal force, and they showed me how it's made. And it's pretty interesting. So that's how I learned about crop circles. You know, they're made by the extraterrestrials. And then next to that, I don't know if you guys can see, it's a shape that is like looks kind of like a kite. And what that represents is the as above, so below. So it's like, if you see it, not see it like a kite, but more on the side, it's kind of like a pyramid looking up and a pyramid looking down. So that is something that represents as above, so below. So that's just like something that they revealed to me too. And then right here, this shape on the green is a ancient symbol, and it means the sun. So what's interesting is, you know, I would see things like whenever they would reveal something, then that I would see the info right on the painting. So when I was learning about the sun and the power of the sun and the fact that the sun is basically source, is what we refer to as, you know, God. that's when they showed me this is the symbol for the sun in I think it's like a druid type of symbol. So it's also a symbol of spiritual awakening, and it's the sun, Soleil. Okay, so right here, there is right now there's a lot of things happening with Mars. Like there's a war, you know, a lot of information is coming through about Mars and what's happening with Mars. But I used to live in Mars as well, and so this shape is a circle that it's like kind of like orangey, that is supposed to represent Mars. So when they were giving me information about Mars, that's when I noticed that circle right there, to just confirm that what I've learned about Mars is true. A lot going on in Mars. All right, so the other time that they were telling me about, you know, the reptilians, they had me watch a show, a TV show called V, you know, like V like Victor. So it shows that race, the reptilian race coming to the planet. And so they told me, you know, this is what they look like. They have red eyes. Their eyes are red. Their skin is green. And they have a portal in the Middle East. So right here, I don't know if you guys can see this shape. Like if you look at a map, you can compare the shape that's green. It's the Middle East, and that eye with the red, you know, in the middle and the green around it, that represents the portal. This portal is controlled by the reptilians, and it's super large, so they have it controlled over in the Middle East. And that is basically like the how they're getting into this planet through that portal. And you know, all of these things are going to change the more that, you know, the star seeds wake up and we keep the vibration high here on this planet. And you know, every time that we go to sleep and we wake up, we're living like this 3D world, but there's a lot that goes on when we're asleep. We're doing a lot in our sleep time. We're probably fighting for that portal. We're probably flying around. You know, who knows? But so yeah, this is when they were revealing to me like the info about the reptilians and that they're in this portal. All right, so this shape right here, that is supposed to represent the light grid that is on the planet. So, you know, all the star seeds, all the light workers, we are scattered all over this planet, and we create this source of light, and it creates a grid over the planet. So there's star seeds all over the world, and what happens is this light grid is supposed to keep this planet at a high vibration and protect it. So the goal is for this light grid to cover the whole planet so that we can ascend and this planet can move to the next level, which is fourth density, fifth dimension. And so yeah, that's pretty cool that we are a point of light in the planet and creates a grid. Okay, so this right here is a symbol of the angels. So, you know, after the angels came to wake me up and I talked to them and stuff, I wanted to I wanted to have some angel wings in my house, so I bought this set of really large angel wings. So I have them in my bedroom. And so later, after I bought my angel wings, like months later, I saw that there were some wings here, and it looks exactly like the angel wings that I have up on my wall. So, sometimes uh, things come out in the painting. I'm still finding new things. I'll show you guys what I'm still trying to decipher from the painting. This right here is a figure. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a brown figure that looks like they're kneeling and praying. So that is supposed to be Jeshua. And they showed me this when they had revealed to me that I know Jeshua from a life that I had back when he was alive. So I was one of his apostles. I am the fifth apostle, Philip. And in the future I'm going to draw the memory so that you guys can see it. But that's when they showed me that life. That's when I saw Jesus, Joshua, kneeling down and praying, which is something that I had seen in that memory also. So I thought that was pretty amazing, pretty cool. All right, so now I want to talk about the donkeys. So, at the time when I drew these donkeys, like I said, I had a miscarriage, so I didn't have any children. But after I drew this, after my painting, I got pregnant, and I had a son. Well, I have a son. He's 9 years old, and so this is representing him and me. The pink one is me, and I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a gold paint on the third eye. So that is representing my activation, my third eye activation, because after my awakening, my abilities, like psychic abilities, came back. Like my third eye is activated, my hearing is activated, and so my son, he is the little donkey next to me, and he is actually also a star seed, and we've had lives together, as soldiers together, and one day he'll wake up and he'll complete his mission. So it's pretty cool that we're both here in the painting. All right, so this is represents my twin flame. So the twin flames are coming together as a mission. They do missions together. So whenever I met my twin flame, at the time I didn't know he was my twin flame, and then little by little, that's when I found out, right, because of my awakening. And so in this painting, he shows a profile, which is the dark brown, and then the bottom is his body, which is a fetus. He has a little fetus body, and then next to him is the placenta. So I know it's kind of funny, it's weird, but this is how they showed me, yes, this is your twin flame. And he's here, he is incarnated in this timeline with you, and you know who it is. And so twin flames, when one's awake, the other is asleep, and because they both have to complete their karma, they have to complete their mission, they have to heal themselves in order to come into union. And everything is with divine timing, everything happens at the right time when it has to happen. And so I've remembered so many lives together, and I'm usually the male in the lives, and he is the female. And so I know, like we are together in so many different timelines, including the ET lives, like as a Lyran and a Ceres, and in the Pleiades. So we're always dual, like we always go together, like we come together in all the incarnations. And what I've heard, well, what I read is that sometimes this happens because God, Source, wants to experience, you know, duality. I mean, not duality, but he wants to experience the male female part of of one soul. So it's kind of like we are a team. We're a dyad, and so they also showed me how we were formed, so how we were created, and it was fascinating. It's basically it's like a little egg that comes out of Source, and this little egg was my twin, and my twin duplicated. So it didn't divide, it duplicated itself, so it became two, and two little eggs, and those two eggs are souls. So it's like an identical soul. It's a copy of the same, you know, the same soul. So we're basically the same, and we do things together, because when there's two, it's more powerful than when there's one. So we're basically doing missions together. We're going to all these places together to experience, you know, life and bring God's energy. So it's like it's kind of like being a representative of God in all of these places. Okay, so here I want to show you like the other info that's in the painting about my twin. So right there, there's two birds. Like there's two bird shapes flying. Do you see that? So this is when they showed me these two birds. They were cloud shapes in the sky, and then when I came home, I saw them in my painting, and they said, you know, this represents your twin. And these two birds are next to this shape that is a guitar, because my twin, he's a guitar player, and that's his profession. So like that purple shape is the guitar, and then the inside, you know, that orange shape, that whole thing is a guitar. So it's just like a lot of information in this painting that came through when I was channeling. Basically, I was channeling all this information in 2011. I channeled all this information in 2011, and I woke up in 2019. So it's pretty cool. There's still some things that I haven't been, you know, I haven't figured out yet. I guess I haven't figured out what it is yet. For example, this right here, this shape, I know that this shape is a map of the secrets, like it's a secret US type of place. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they had me watch info about the secret space program, and so that's when I also saw lives as a super soldier, that I have, you know, been a super soldier. And there are secret underground facilities in the US and probably all over the world, and this is a map of one of them. So I'm trying to find it. You know, I don't know where it is. It could be Dulce. I mean, I don't know, because they won't show like it's classified information, so they won't show it, you know, in the internet. So there's no way for me to actually find the map, but that's what it represents. It represents a map of a station, like a secret space program type of place. All right. So if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment or send me an email. But this is the info that I have from, you know, my painting. And there's I'll probably find more info, because I still haven't figured out some of the shapes. Like this right here, this shape, this brown shape, it looks like a hand. That is supposed to be God. God's hand. And there was or maybe not God, but not source, but the Elohim. So the Elohim, they created a lot of the races, and they oversee a lot of the things that goes on in this in this planet, and also in the galaxy, the universe. So the Elohim are very important to the progress of this planet. So anyways, so I'm happy that you guys got to see my painting, and that I was able to share this with you guys. So that's all that I wanted to say. And in the future I'm going to draw my past life so that you guys can see Atlantis, Lemuria, Agartha. You guys can see Avalon. I've had a lot of lives in different places, and it's because I am a traveler. So me and my twin, we go to tons of places, and it's because we either have missions, or because we we just bring in this energy from God that is needed. So just the lives that I've seen are amazing. So I want to show you also like the Lyran life, the one in Pleiades. So it's going to be exciting for me to share with you all. And thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't boring, but I know that some of you will probably have maybe some memories, depends. And go make some art, do some intuitive art, because you never know what you're gonna find in your artwork. And have a great day, have a great rest of the year 2023, and I'll be seeing you in future videos. Okay, bye bye.